When Arnold starts talking, you'll realize pretty quickly, this is not a normal conversation. This is someone who's lived multiple lifetimes in just one.
I'm over on Miami Beach, getting ready to leave the club, blood. I caught a 38 right here in my chest, man. That was my Vietnam. Being home was my Vietnam.
1 inch higher, and Arnold would not be here telling this story.
Got up and I saw blood on my, it was in my chest. It was an inch down or an inch up. I wouldn't be here today talking to you,
And somehow, after everything that Arnold's been through, he still tells his stories with humor.
I kissed this girl bye, and she was getting on the train. And I looked up and I looked right into my wife's face. And there was nothing I can say about that. Man, she punished me so bad. I'm telling you, man.
Military service took Arnold all across the world. And he didn't just visit, that man experienced it.
Any kind of drug that was out there, I think I tried it one time, maybe one time. Because I was always seeking to have a good time. I was always seeking. I didn't care if she was black, white, purple, what. I just had women. I just loved women. I was a whore like that,
But beneath the wild stories is hard-earned wisdom.
Would you change anything?
No, not at all. I mean, not even the bad stuff, because
Why?
it kind of taught you. It taught you. You became a little bit more open then. And what you was looking for and what you were actually looking for, not what you was always giving.
And at 76 years old, Arnold refuses to slow down.
I'm still going playing ball, man. I still go out to the court.
Oh, for real? You're hooping?
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
And when Arnold talks about life now, there's no bitterness. It's just gratitude.
Read everything you get your hands on. Know about economics. Economics mean a lot. And once you can do that, then you're good to go, man, because run into somebody that's traveling with the Lord, that'll help you out,
Arnold's story is funny, shocking, honest, and deeply reflective. And the way it all comes together, especially how he defines keep living, is something you'll want to hear for yourself.
When people think of like senior communities, you don't assume that it's going to come with drama and messiness. What type of like stuff do you see that makes this it kind of makes you scratch your head?
Well, it's like this. I mean, when you get out there and you say, can we get along? Why can't we get along? This is basically black neighborhood, Originally, I'm from Miami, Florida.
Okay.
And I moved up here. This is my third time up here.
Okay.
Were
you in Miami and then Georgia, and did you keep going back and forth between the two? Or?
No, I went, when I finished high school, I was in Miami, and that was like in 67.
Okay.
Then I joined the military, and I stayed in there for like 20 years, So beyond that, I was traveling a lot, back and forth throughout California, Northern California, Southern California, and South Dakota. And
why'd you keep coming back?
Huh?
Here? Yeah.
When I left Miami, man, when I got out of the military and went back home to Miami, I started my business. I was a photographer, a solo photographer there. But I tried to organize some other guys that was there, that was into the same profession, but you had never heard of African-American Professional Photographers Association.
Right.
I wanted to use African-American instead of Black Photography Association. Now we'll go with Black Photography Association, But the guys wasn't trying to hear that. It's like, why are we competing against each other, man? Let's do this as a group, make it a corporation, and then we can, get our supplies cheaper. We can teach our kids in reference to communication and stuff like that. I went to FIU for mass communication, but I had to let that go, man, because the people there, a lot of them came in from Cuba,
Yeah.
And it was like racism down there, man.
Don't
You know what I'm
expect that.
saying?
From Cubans?
For them too, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
it was mostly them.
Oh, yeah.
From them.
Yeah.
From them, yeah.
Oh, wow. From them.
Yeah, from them. And then on top of that, going back home, once I got out, them saying, I'm looking for a job, And most of them wanted you to be bilingual.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I was born here in Miami.
Yeah.
What you talking about? I'm from Miami-Dade County.
Right.
You guys coming over here trying to change the language to another language and all this other kind of mess, man. It's like, hey, what's going on with that? So I stayed there for a while, and I was looking at this. I mean, I did some substitute teaching down there and all that other kind of mess, but after I left there and came up here, and I saw all these black people around here with these jobs, man, and they looking good, and they got these homes and stuff like that, and they professional,
Yeah.
I say, this is where I want to be, because I came up with a girlfriend, and we opened up a home daycare out of an apartment building with 5 kids, starting out.
For real. A home daycare out of an apartment
Home
building?
daycare, yeah, with 5 kids, in an apartment building, right? And so it was working for a minute there, but it's like the girl was kind of straggling. I'm saying, look, I can do poor by myself. I don't need that. You know what I mean? Let's do something else, because you got 2 kids that I'm volunteering to help out with, and the bad daddy ain't sending no child support, and you need to get some food stamps and all that other kind of stuff, because you ain't spending up mine, because I'm retired, got my money, So at the same time, we moved from there into a house. We was paying like $800 a month, for this house. But we went from 5 to 11 to 16 to 26 kids, man, in that house.
Are you serious?
26 kids.
Like rotating or like all at one time?
At one time.
That's crazy.
26 kids. We had to hire another person to come in, because you can only have so many kids for 8 by 10 space.
Yeah.
So that worked out. And then on me, I was already into the system, as a substitute teacher around here, So I was in there, so we didn't have to hire nobody else. And then the government would chip in this and that and the other,
Yeah.
But she was making the money. I'm saying, okay, that's fine. You go ahead and make the money, but I want you to be stacking, because as long as we was doing that, we could have had our own building.
Yeah.
That could have grown, but she was into spending money and lying and all this other kind of mess. And I'm saying, hey, I had enough of that.
This was your girlfriend at the time?
That was a girlfriend at the time, but we were still living together, and the kid was growing up, her son. And, his job was to take care of the yard in the back.
How old was he?
I had the front. He was about 13 at the time.
Okay.
So he wanted to go and play with where his mates were, and didn't do what he was supposed to do. So I gave him holy hell when he got back there, This dude and he's standing tall as I did at the time, to take off his shirt, his shoes. I'm saying, what you doing that for? So I put him down, and put my foot on him. I'm saying, look, if you ever disrespect another grown person again, I got you.
How old were you when this happened?
Let me see, at that time I was right now I'm 76 years old. At that time I was about in my 40s or 50s, something like that. Yeah, early 50s, something like that, But see, a lot of parents ain't going down like that with their kids, That's why a lot of teachers don't want to be in the system no more, because it's disrespect going down. We don't know nothing about our history. The people are trying to take it away from us.
Yeah.
And we can't teach our kids anything and stuff like that. And here we got all this naked stuff out here with these girls, beautiful girls. But why you got to show off all your body now?
Yeah.
You don't give us nothing to think about, why you doing this? I ain't getting you none of my money. Just look at your body,
Did you used to feel that way when you were younger? Like, why you showing all your body now?
No, I was trying to get it when I was young, man.
Okay.
I was trying to get some when I was young.
Yeah, but now.
Think about that. But now you look at it, and then you look at what the Bible's teaching you and stuff like that, and how the kids is, we aren't getting along, man, and we fighting on each other, and now all of a sudden the white folks are setting us up, with the governor, hey, you can have guns and stuff like that. You don't have to register. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You give them to the wrong thing, they can get them off the street.
Right.
Just like with that dope they brought in here, that crack. We wasn't making the crack. Where do you think the crack came from? It didn't come from us, man.
Yeah.
But we went out with the crack,
So you lived to see like a lot of that happening in real time.
Yeah, real time. History as well. Because back then, I remember when we couldn't go in through the front door. We had to go to the back door.
The black door.
Yeah, the black door. And then on top of that, the water fountains, a white water fountain or black water fountain over here.
Yeah.
Same thing with the restrooms and stuff. It was definitely segregated.
Yeah.
But at the time, we had more pride at that time than a little bit. Even the high schools, all my schooling was all black. I didn't integrate until I went into the military. And I went into the military with black power and stuff, just black power,
I was born in 91. So obviously things were a lot more,
a little bit more progressive.
Yeah, a lot more progressive.
Yeah.
So now that you're living in the South,
Yeah.
like you see how the country is divided, not much by race anymore, which it still is, but now by like political party. It's a lot
well,
worse.
you know, that's kind of crazy too. But I'm glad they got that little girl up there, Cochran from Texas. She's doing some straightening, baby.
Are you talking about the press secretary?
No, she's a representative from Texas. What's her name? Beautiful little black girl. You know, she's a lawyer, but she's in the Congress. She's in Congress. You know, she's Democratic.
Yeah.
You know, she be straightening up them people out there. That's when this white girl was talking about it, and she said bad body and all this other. That's what they came from. You know, so that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. I like that. I'm liking that.
Yeah.
But we aren't reading.
Right.
Our kids aren't reading, and then we put them in, like the guy said, I was looking on YouTube, and this guy said, you know, he had a problem with the kids going to school. You know, they're going to school, but they being taught school. No, they're being taught how to work for somebody when they get through with going to school. They're not being taught about economics or any of that other stuff like that, making money or making it grow or something like that. You know,
Who taught you that?
Well, I had it this way. When I was going to school, like I said, it was all black. We were segregated during that time. Integration didn't do nothing to help us, not really. You know, except for the people that wanted to be white and wanted to get with the white, that thought the whites had the nice hair and all that other kind of stuff, even with the doll babies, you know. You get to a black child, they go and pick up a white baby instead of a black baby, you know, because they don't know anything about the history, you know. In the meantime, while I was going to school, my father was around. Now, my mother and father did not live together, you know, but my father gave me a lot of love, man. I saw him every day. I was always with him. My mother was the disciplinarian, but she was a hard-working, strong sister from Virginia, you know, and my father was from the islands, you know. But I would go to work with him because he had a store. He and his brother had a store called the Poultry Market, and they sell fish and chicken, and they, you know, clean it up and they had canned goods and stuff right there in the area. You know, that was over town during that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you were exposed from a young age then.
Yeah.
Did you always know you would be an entrepreneur?
I kind of figured as much, you know what I'm saying? Because I tried a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I started out, I was shining shoes, man. You know, and then I went to work for this black newspaper, and I was selling the Miami Times on the corner and stuff. We were making a dime, selling paper for a dime. We was getting 3 cents. But, you know, it was enough to go to the movie and have a good time and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Then by the time I finished, then I started throwing papers, you know, until I got up in high school. I had me a bicycle with about 150 customers. You know, I went to throw them, and then you go and collect. And then when I felt like I wanted to go somewhere, I'd tell my dad, you know, I was going to the island. And he said, well, go ahead, I got you, you know. So he handled that for me. And when I got back, you know, that's where it was, man.
That's dope. Were your parents always not together while you were growing up?
Yeah, they never did live together. But they were still friendly, more or less, you know.
Do you look back at your parents' relationship and think about how that changed how you see relationships as an adult?
I think it has some effect on me because, you know, it's like I've always been trying to sit myself in a position where I can help a friend or a girlfriend or something. She had kids, and I didn't want no more than 2, you know, what she had, because you get one girl with no kids, and you find more selfishness with them than you do with the ones that has kids, you know. That's what I did. You know, I wanted the male to be in the house with the kids, you know. Even though I saw my dad every day, every, you know, morning, noon, and night, he was there, you know, because he had a job, but he had another job.
Yeah.
And then I was with him on that job there too, you know. He was messing up my doggone run life, man.
So when you were dating, you prefer to spend your time with people who already had kids?
Not necessarily, man, because I mean, early on in life, I was really hoarse, man. I was just trying to get it. You know, I was trying to get it, man. I used to like go dancing and stuff, you know, just partying, man. And the crew I ran around with, they partied. You know, even in school, man. I mean, we was going to school in ties and stuff.
Yeah.
People who had the craziest ties, something like that. We had our little jackets for our little clubs we had there, you know, pulling trains like crazy. But then again, like I say, the black folks during that time, we was more respective. You know, we wasn't trying to respectful. We wasn't trying to hurt each other, not
Right.
like they doing now, you know.
Yeah. Do you think that you guys were more respectful to women than people are now?
Respectful to each other.
Yeah, just in general.
Each other, you know, we just had fun and wanted to grind, you know, that's what it is. You know, it wasn't about this, you know, getting mad and, you know, shaking your booty and all that, and they throwing the money out there and all that stuff. Like, you
That's
know,
not
like, hey,
attractive to
man.
you?
I mean, you know, I see it. It's just like me trying to watch a sex movie. I can't do that because I find it very boring. You know, they don't have any storyline or nothing like that. They just doing it.
I know.
You know, they just doing it. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, what is that?
Mhm.
You know, and then you're going out there and then you're talking this madness, you know, that's coming out your mouth, you know, in reference to I mean, you got educated people doing this stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and rapping like they rapping. You know, I mean, talk about something that's, hey, that's political. Talk about something that's honest. Talk about the legal aspect of it, not just necessarily black and white. You know, we know about that, you know, but that's all I'm talking about. But I got along with white folk too, man.
I bet.
I really did, because after leaving Miami, I went to Texas. From Texas, I went to California. Then I went to Thailand, and I went to Japan, and then I went to Panama. That's where I learned most of my Spanish, because my mujer, she, you know, in Novia, you know, she was Panamanian. And so, you know, she knew some words in English and I knew some words in Spanish, because even in Miami, during junior high school, we had a Spanish teacher there trying to teach us Spanish. But then being from Miami, you're going to pick up something anyway, you know, if you want to hang around her. So we would study at night, her and I, you know. She was a beautiful woman, but she just had too many kids, man. I wasn't about to bring her back to the States, man.
Oh, no. Wait, what? She was in Cuba? What country?
Panama.
Panama.
Yeah, Panama was off the chain, man.
Yeah.
I dug it over there, and the music scene was just off the chain too, you know.
Yeah.
Japan, I had a lovely time in Japan, because that was a music scene too, you know. I mean, I was doing photography over there, you know, and I was into abstract photography. I was into forensic photography. I worked with pathologists, you know, when it was doing the dead people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know. And aerial photography, I was in them on helicopter and stuff like that.
That's dope. How long did you travel? Like, for how many years would you say you were like traveling to different places?
I'm still traveling now, man.
Where are you going?
Well, like I said, when I got out of the military, I went back home and I stayed there for a while, and then I came here. And then after I left here, after I stayed here for a while, besides doing the photography and playing music, I was driving the motor coaches too, you know.
Where?
Those buses going back and forth to the casinos and stuff, you know. Man, that was fun.
I bet.
Asking a little bit. You know, that was fun, blood. For real.
So in the midst of all that, you mentioned earlier about being married. You travel a lot.
Yeah.
You're a musician.
Yeah.
So like what that lifestyle brings doesn't always...
You just don't know, my brother. I mean, because you had them groupies there, man.
Yeah.
And I got caught up in Japan I was married then to my wife and 2 kids. And man,
in Japan, was your family with you in Japan?
Yeah. They were black. They were with me. And we did a show at the American Embassy in Tokyo, you know, the band I was with, or the band I had. And after that, you know, you got these groupies, man. And this one girl latched on to me. She was part Japanese, part Italian. Now, who was going to say no to that?
Even if you're married.
Who was going to say no to that? You know, my old lady, she was doing something else because she was into the modeling thing. She had my son with her. I adopted him, by the way.
Okay.
And then I had my daughter that was at home with my living maid. We had a living maid then. So my daughter was taking care of her. So I decided to spend the night out. And I don't know if we did it or not. I really don't, because I was ripped off.
You forgot?
And that boot over there was something else. I'm talking about boot, that real good weed.
In Japan?
Yes, man. Thailand, too. Yeah. Any kind of drug that was out there, I think I tried it maybe one time. But
what was your best experience?
I had good experiences where I went, you know, because I was always seeking to have a good time. I was always seeking. I didn't care if she was black, white, purple, what. I just had women. I just loved women. I was a whore like that, you know. And then when my wife found out about that, I mean, I kissed this girl bye, and she was getting on the train. I looked up and I looked right into my wife's face, and there was nothing I can say about that. Man, she punished me so bad. I'm telling you, man. And took my kids away, man.
No.
And she moved.
All right, hold on.
So I had to start all over again.
It's not funny, but walk me through like you kissed the girl, you turned and you saw your wife.
I was surprised, and I guess she was stunned.
Yeah.
And the girl wasn't black either. You know, she was, like I say, she was a mix between Japanese and
Yeah.
Italian, you know. And that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman, man. You know.
Was that your first wife?
My first wife, she was totally black. I met her in Denver, Colorado, you know.
Okay. How long were you married to her?
9.5 years.
That's a long time.
It was long enough. Long enough. I'm telling you, man, because if it had gone if it had gone up to 10 years, she would have privy to all my stuff that's coming in from my retirement, my disability, and my Social Security. So I'm making mad money right now.
Yeah,
you know.
so you made a good decision.
Likes that.
Yeah. All right, so okay, let's talk about love for a second, because you're not shy about admitting that you had a good time.
Oh, I had a blast
as a young man. So that was your first wife, and you got married again.
Yeah, my first wife, I met her in Texas.
Okay.
San Antonio, Texas. But she wasn't in it for love. You know, she was in just to get away from the family, you know, and because, you know, GIs, I mean, military people, they got caught up, man. I'm telling you, a lot of military men got caught up with that bull crap, you know. He was more or less wanting to leave home or something like that, or he was looking for how to make a dime or whatever the case may be. But it wasn't nothing about Jesus Christ and love. Wasn't none of that in there. You hear me? So I went to tech school. I left there because I was cross-training. These people was trying to send me to Vietnam. They was drafting during that time I was graduating from high school. Vietnam was going on. And I had already made up my mind that I wasn't going to Vietnam, you know, so I didn't join the Army, I joined the Air Force. Now, the Marines and the Army and the Navy, I didn't want to be on the water, you know. But these people on the land with them guns and stuff like that, So I went into the Air Force, and they put me in heavy equipment, well, civil engineering. But I was a heavy equipment operator, and they wanted to fly me from Texas to Vietnam to be on somebody's flight line, do something while these people shooting at me. So I started tearing up some dump trucks and all that other kind of stuff. And then it was time for me to cross-train anyway. You know, 3 years you can cross-train, right?
Yeah.
So the photographic career field was open, you know, that's it. So I did that for 3 years and stayed in photography in the military for 17 years.
Good for you.
I got a degree. As a matter of fact, I got 2 of them.
Okay.
But the one was in liberal arts and the other one's in communications, you know. And then I went to FIU in Florida for mass communication. I got a couple of hours there, and I just kept going to school, man.
Yeah.
Just kept going to school. And I'm telling these guys, you know, if you're looking to go in the military, I wouldn't advise that. I would advise you, I mean, first of all, go to college first. You know, see what you're going to do from there. And if you need to go, because, you know, you can still get some bennies from that, you know.
Yeah.
As long as you stay safe.
Right.
Volunteer for anything that has education on it, you know. Don't be no fool, you know. That's what I would tell them.
Yeah.
You know, other than that.
If you kept going back to school, you're serving in the Army,
Air Force.
Air Force, you've got multiple, you know, musician, different like ventures that you're doing.
Yeah.
How did you balance all of that with your family?
Well, with the family, I was a family man, you know, and I wanted to have somebody with me when we would have that in common, you know, but the commonality was kind of rough because, you know, like the one I was married to for 9.5, she was, I didn't know she was as deep as she was because we really was young when we got married. I met her in Denver. Oh, man, pretty black woman. I'm saying, oh, my God. I went back to the base in California and got re-enlisted, had some money, went up there and bought a ring for her, you know. I'm saying, hey, you know. But then again, I was looking at that because before we got married, she had left Colorado and went to Kansas City. And I met her in Kansas City. Mama was pushing that marriage thing because she was married to a dude in the Army. And she knew about the dudes being overseas, you know, when you get that allotment and all that other kind of stuff. So that was the play. Anyway, that's the bad stuff. But anyway, we stayed married for that long. And I was there with my family. I was always a family-oriented type of guy. We go to the games and stuff, but I still had time to do what I wanted to do as far as what I was interested in.
Right, yeah.
You know, if I had a job, I had a job as a photographer. I had a job running the shop, whatever. You know, but I did my job for those 8 hours and I came home and I was the papa.
Yeah.
And then we used to get dressed and go out a lot, you know, go out dancing and stuff like that. But we had that taken care of at the house, you know.
Yeah. How old are your kids now?
My daughter is 47. Maybe she's 40. I think she's 45.
Okay.
And my son, who I adopted, he's 51.
Okay.
But that Negro just go back and forth to jail like he's crazy, man. It's like, damn, he's so stupid, man.
At 51?
He's 51.
And
yeah.
still in and out of jail?
Yeah, yeah. He just got picked up not too long ago.
I don't want to ask you, do you feel like you failed? But do you feel like something went wrong with him?
Well, first of all, when I met his mother, my wife, I really didn't know that she had a child. But she was out there before, you know. So after we had the daughter, I said, well, I want everybody to have the same name. So that was another reason why I chose to adopt him. But he was my son growing up. That was my child, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, that's the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
You know, once I got into that little scrimmage or whatever it was, and, you know, and she decided to go her own way and take the kids, that really messed me up, man, because my whole family was just tore up behind that.
Wait, the woman you were married to for 9.5 years, she was the one that went with you to Japan.
Yeah, she came 6 months later.
Oh, so this is the woman that looked at you while you kissed the Japanese Italian.
In Japan.
Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah. Thailand was totally different because when I was over there for a year, I had a T-lock. I had a Thai T-lock.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call them, a Thai girlfriend, you know.
Oh, okay.
And I had a bungalow off base,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so she lived there and stuff. And that was an experience. That was a real experience, man. I used to sit around with what they call a sarong on, you know, you wrap yourself up and you sit down and you just squat down like that, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just went to total experience, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me get the total experience. Same thing in Panama.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even in Panama, we had a base was located to the on the beach, La Playa. That was an experience. That was a total experience too, because I didn't know it was, I thought we had ghetto. But compared to people overseas in a third world country, that's ghetto, man.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
That's for real, that's ghetto. But I was working like as a photographer in the military, so I had a chance to travel and do stories and stuff like that, you know. So it was cool.
So all of these years that you spent traveling, you lived a life, you've collected all kinds of memories, good and bad, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Would you change anything?
No, not at all, man.
No?
No, not at all. I mean, not even the bad stuff, you know, because
Why?
it kind of taught you. You know, I mean, you became a little bit more open then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what you was looking for and what you were actually looking for, not what you was always giving,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Because, I mean, that's what the woman get up. Well, you got to give me this and you got to, what you giving up?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how can you know, take care of me? Why can't we take care of each other?
Yeah.
And I was looking at something on YouTube the other day, and it was a white dude speaking. He said, the only basic way you can make money, become millionaires, is if you're married.
Yep.
And you put your ideas and your ideologies and all that stuff together, you can become millionaires.
Yeah.
You know. And that was another thing. I learned a lot, even in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, traveling in Japan, it was a trip and a half. I got a chance to see the sumo wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I got a picture of them, nice black and white. You know, I won some photography contests while I was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I wouldn't. My life, I mean, I wish I could have been more successful with my relationships, you know, but I was looking, maybe I was, I don't know, maybe I was, what do you call narcissistic or something? I don't know.
Have you ever been called narcissistic before?
No, not at all. You know, contentious, yeah, but not narcissistic. You know, contentious, I'm always arguing about, no, I have an opinion and I'm listening. You know, you have an opinion, so let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I wouldn't give that up for nothing. I had experiences.
That's good.
And
you're married now.
No, I'm divorced again.
You're divorced again.
The last wife I had, that didn't last 2 years. That was all right.
What age did you marry her?
I think I was about in my 60s, and she was like 10 years younger than I, you know. And I feel like we had gone through it, so we ready to go ahead and make a move and start doing something big, you know. If she had to just settle down, because she was narcissistic too, and by being narcissistic, by going through that system, something happened to her in her life, in her previous life, as she was coming up. You know, she was hurt quite a bit, or whatever the case may be. But that feeling does not go away. It just, it just grow. You know, it grows, and then you use it on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But she was pinpointing military people because she was married to another guy who was in the Navy. For some reason, he had to get out the Navy. He had to get out. She messed up his career.
Mm.
And see, when I got her, I don't think that woman had $600 to her name,
Hmm.
but she had assets that I didn't really know that much about.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to DC, met her in DC and brought her down here, Started out in a little apartment job and bought a car for her. But I was looking to get a house, But she got to the place when she surprised me. She wanted to move. And then she was telling people, look, he's paying the rent too. I'm saying, who are you talking to? I mean, I thought that was my job,
Mhm.
And she got, did well getting a job here and all that stuff. I'm saying, cool, we'll make it, She wasn't hard to look at,
Mhm.
Till sometimes in the morning you catch her and it's like, oh God, I did that, Shit. It's crazy, man.
I remember you mentioned you were just talking about your ex-wife. She
Yeah.
only had a certain amount of money to her name.
Yeah.
When you're like dating, I know like when you're younger, like how much money people have is probably not a concern.
No, not
or
at
their
all.
assets.
I
But
just want a
now,
good time, smash. That's it.
yeah. What about now? That's changed.
More or less. I look right now because, the time I spend in DC, let's take that.
Yeah.
Most of the women up there were into that bougie type of thing. They had their job and their houses and stuff like that. So you couldn't come half-stepping.
Yeah.
Now, I went up there to help my aunt with her husband because it seems like I became a caregiver for my family. My father, my mother, my aunt, and all that other kind of stuff, And so I was up there for like 8 years. And but getting with these, and then, everything was so expensive up there, but getting with the women that had theirs already, they was more guarded than anything else,
Mhm.
Made you feel like a little person,
Mhm.
So I said, okay, it's time for me to get the hell on up out of here,
Yeah.
go south.
Yeah.
And so I did that. I
Mhm.
did that. I did that.
I gotta tell you, when I looked at you outside, I didn't stereotype you, but when I saw you, I was like, man, he looks like, because you said you had the hat on, everything is matching from head to toe.
Yeah.
I could tell you, like, not that you like a player, but
Well, I did a lot of it. And I tell the women that now. I say, look, I don't care what you want to do with today. If you want to give me something cool. If you don't, I'm cool with that. But you ain't getting none of my money. You ain't gonna play with that just for that.
mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for 60 years, man. I've been playing for 60 years. What? I'm tired now.
Yeah.
Y'all take that and go somewhere else,
So what are you looking for now?
I'm looking for a business partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it because with this girl, I don't know, I think God has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Because when we first got together, she helped me with my business
Mm-hmm.
as a photographer. Because I was doing up the clubs, man. I had my little Polaroid, the big Polaroid, man. I was making some money with that. And then finally I decided that I needed a place to do my photography. And I had a little house, at the time. And but I was kind of leery of bringing people in my house, to do that. So she had they got a shop over on Bankhead. It's called Lawson's Flowers, Lawson Floors. But it was also her father had a mechanic shop over there and land in the back and all that other kind of stuff. And her mom's was teaching, and all that other kind of stuff. So he was doing quite well. So she invited me into her business.
Mm-hmm.
And I set up my studio in there with my lighting and stuff, backdrops and what have you. I was doing the thing, And then her father, they got us married. I mean, the money that her mother really wanted to get her married. That her mother put in there and the father put in there, it was like all I had to do was show up, man.
Yeah.
I just showed up. My family came up and everything, it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm married to this girl. She already had a house and stuff, got a nice ride,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still struggling with my little truck with the sign on the side, and stuff like that, But I'm hustling.
Yeah.
But she was hustling too,
Yeah.
So that was it. But she got caught up in this crack epidemic. She got caught the hell up. So I saw her in a different place, different light altogether. I saw her when she wasn't hooked that much into that because she was running for some kind of commissioner or whatever. And I saw her when she was going down.
Was that here in Georgia?
Right here in Georgia.
Man.
And that was 23 years ago. And then when we finally met up again, that hadn't been too long now. And we got to talking, and she got to apologize and start talking about God and stuff like that, which is a good thing. I look at this cat named Geno Jenkins or something like that on YouTube who talk about the Bible all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He talks the Bible. Bible is this. The Bible is what says. He teaches the Bible, So, I mean, what can you go wrong with that, And so she's still pretty to me.
Yeah.
She's still pretty to me,
Yeah.
She's a little heavy, though, heavier. I wouldn't throw out of bed, though, so. So we've been talking and we've been going out, and she's still doing her business and stuff. But the
Good.
conversation is immaculate because she ain't doing none of that stuff no more.
Yeah.
And then she was really falling off because she was in between that gay thing going on too,
Man.
So
yeah, she's had a lot of
bad experiences.
Yeah.
But now she isn't like that. And I'm so happy about that, man.
That was 23 years ago that you guys were married?
23 years ago. Yeah. 23 years ago.
And now you guys are, I guess, dating again.
Yeah, we're dating again. Just went to the jewelry store and bought a nice ring.
I guess when you get to that age, you said you're 73?
76.
76.
Yeah.
Is intimacy like at the top of the priority list when you're, I know it is, like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s?
I'm still looking at it like that too, man. But I ain't pushing like I used to push no more.
I bet.
It don't disappoint me anymore. I'm saying you go ahead on. We good. We good.
Yeah. But it's still like that, I guess, a lot of people don't have the desire anymore after they get to a certain.
But I mean, I'm trying to eat right.
Yep.
And then you look at all these different things that's coming up on TV where these guys are talking about, well, you can get the right food and put the right food in your body and you can still have a hell of a heart on and all this other kind of stuff if you do this. But everybody pushing pills, man.
I know.
I mean, we turned into a whole bunch of pill pushing things. Don't tell me when you start out, you can do it this way about this vegetable or this plant, all that other kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You can buy food like that, but you can buy pills like that too.
Absolutely.
That has the ingredients all mixed up.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it like that. I want to go ahead and make my own food and stuff like that. So it's stuff, if I need it, and I feel like, hey, it ain't acting like it's supposed to act. And the reason it's not acting like it's supposed to act is because I'm not getting turned on.
Mm-hmm.
You got to turn me on as well. You want me to turn, you got to turn me on as well.
Yeah.
I like a freak. Really. Because I'm still freakish to be old. So I don't run it down like I used to no more. No. I'm good. I got things to do in the house, you know what I'm saying? And I like to dress and I like to play music and things of that nature,
If somebody was to say, man, Austin, have you ever seen a 30-year-old in a 76-year-old's body? I would be like, yep. I met him the other day. Do you ever feel like you're not 76, like in your head, like, man, I can't be 76. Like I still feel,
No, not really, because I'm still going playing ball, man. I still go out to the court.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
You're hooping?
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
I still go on the court, man.
That's cool. That's cool. So that gives me something to, I'm 32.
Right.
So I think about myself and what's that?
Hey, you look good for 32. Look
Appreciate
at you.
It, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So that's 42 years.
You even got good teeth.
Yeah. I'm trying to brush them.
There you go, man.
So 42 years, 44 years, I'll be 76.
Okay.
But the intimacy thing is something I'm always curious about. It's like, because when you look at the senior population, you don't think that type of stuff is like, people just assume that you lose the desire to do that.
No, you don't. And it has a lot to do. Sometimes it has a lot to do with your... Huh?
What'd you say? He said, who you been talking to? That's why I'm here with you guys.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like when I left D.C., you felt like you was having problems then. I wasn't really having no problems then because I can get smoked up and go and get me some, whatever. But then when I left, it was like my prostate was giving me a problem. He was saying, well, you got prostate cancer. That's what he was telling me after my colonoscopy. And I'm saying, wait a minute. And he come up there, well, when do you want the surgery? I say, when you get out my face and I can get me a second opinion, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the PSAs was low. So all they wanted to do was just observe it. I'm saying, cool. Man, you got young people having problems with their prostate. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at the two words, prostate and cancer. prostate, we have prostate problems. You know, if you don't drink enough water or whatever the case may be, you're going to have a problem with your prostate. If you only eat the right food, you're going to have a problem with your prostate. Now, with the cancer thing, that's like fungus among us, you know. You got to put cancer on it for them pills that's an oncologist that's passing the pill thing, you know, so they can get paid too. It's just like when you're hustling weed or you're hustling cocaine or you're hustling anything. You know, now they're hustling pills. We got more pills going on in this world.
I know.
Every commercial that come on that television is talking about pills this and pills that.
Yeah.
And mixing all this stuff together. But you know what's in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like buying water.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to do that before because they had them wells out there with that good well water.
Yeah.
You know, they used to bring me out here to Georgia, Wrightsville, Georgia every summer. I hated that, man. Because they wanted me to pick cotton and all that other kind of stuff from the city, man.
Picking no cotton?
But you know, you can still check your prostate here and there, you know, because you got pills to take because your prostate will tighten up on you, you know. That's why them doctors were sticking their finger up your ass. You know, I'm saying, damn, man. You know, well, you need, you know, your prostate needs some work back there, you know. I mean, and that's when you get up there and you're trying to pee and you got to wait for hours to get through peeing and then you know, it's running slow. But the pills they give you, you know, if you take them right, then, you know, you go ahead and do the urinalysis, you do urine, and then you drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I drink alkaline water, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I like my vegetables and all that other kind of stuff, you know. I try to stay away from all the red meat and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Chicken and stuff, you know. But I like that too. But every now and again, I can stay away from it. But I still do what I need to do. And I'm just thanking God that I still have the energy. I got my basketball in the car.
That's crazy to me.
You know, I can still take it over to the gym and do a little something with
That's
that.
What's
you
up.
know, yeah.
All right,
got some old dudes out there doing the same thing.
Where do you play at?
Well, you got this gym down here off of Riverdale Road and Church Street and Fayetteville Road around that way. Yeah, I forget. Yeah, Virginia. What? Virginia Gray. You got one up here in Jonesboro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry, off of Tower Boulevard, down there by the jail.
Yeah.
There's another gym back there.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah,
and then they got another gym over here off of Godfrey Road back there. The guys go on Sunday. And then you got one in town off of Campbellton Road.
That's pretty cool that you play basketball.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more question for you. So the name of this show is called Keep Living. So growing up, my dad, he used to always say to us, we'll like run across a crazy situation, or if you tell me something,
yeah,
and I'm like, man, I can't believe something like that happened. My dad would just be like, man, just keep living. Yeah. So when you hear the word keep living, like when it comes to your life, like what do you think how does that resonate with you personally?
Keep living?
Mm-hmm.
That's what life is all about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what life is all about, man. I mean, it was like, hey, I'm in the military all these years. They trying to send me to Vietnam. I'm doing all I can to not go to Vietnam. I come home on leave. I'm over on Miami Beach, club called Funky Broadway, right around the corner from the Castaway. Getting ready to leave the club, blood. I caught a 38 right here in my chest, man. That was my Vietnam. Being home was my Vietnam, believe it or not.
Whoa.
And I still got a piece of lead there. You know, they didn't get it all up because it cauterized itself to the, thing there. But it don't hurt unless I'm in a cold weather, and it's like that.
You got shot?
I got shot with the 38, with a 38 gun. I mean, trying to leave the club.
Dang, were they shooting you?
No, the dude he was trying to come in the club. This another Spanish guy trying to come in the club. And the guy who was on the door, this white dude on the door, whatever, I guess he said something, but he hit the dude, you know. And the dude, once he fell, he got up and started shooting. The lady over across from me, she got shot in the leg. My partner, he left, you know, we was near the door. And I'm behind him. That nigga came around me, you know, and went into the other room and got flesh wound. And when I got ready to jam, I felt this glass hit me in the back of the head. I said, oh man, I'm shot in the head. But then I fell on the floor and I rolled over, you know, got up and I saw blood on my, you know, it was in my chest. It was an inch down or an inch up. I wouldn't be here today talking to you, you know. That was my Vietnam. That was my Vietnam, you know.
That's
and
crazy.
It wasn't by nobody black either.
Yeah. All right, last question for real.
Keep living.
That's the last question for real. When you look at like the younger generation now, just like What words of advice would you give them based on what you see going on today?
The advice I would give them, read.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta read, man. Read everything you get your hands on. Know about economics.
Mm-hmm.
Economics mean a lot. And once you can do that, then you're good to go, man, because, you know, you run into somebody that will want, you know, that's traveling with God or traveling with the Lord, that'll help you out, you know.
Yeah.
I'm happy now. I'm really happy. I don't have no real issues right now.
Good.
Don't want to have no issues.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I got longevity in my family too. You know, I just had an aunt to die about a month ago. She lived to be 101 years old.
Oh, for real.
My mother lived to be 93. And I had another uncle, he lived to be 99.
Oh, yeah. So you know you ain't going nowhere no time soon.
I hope not.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope everything is still working.
Yeah. We can end on that note right there.